Hey everyone, welcome to our Real Review series. We're Notebeats CG Academy. I'm Harris Wu, and I'm here with Sitting Liu and Chen Ji. In this series, we're going to break down rigging and the CFX rules to help you understand what makes a good portfolio for landing a job in our industry. This is an ongoing, completely free series, so if you want us to review your work, feel free to send us your reel anytime you want. And if you find this is helpful, make sure to subscribe and share it. It will help us a lot. Before we get started, just a quick note. Everything we share here is based on our own experience and personal opinion, and it doesn't represent any studio we have worked with. So let's get started. Today, we're going to review Laio's rigging reel. Big thanks to Laio for sharing his work with us. Let's take a look at his reel first. Okay, let's start the review. This reel provides a solid foundation and showcases a good range of rigging work. There are a few presentation areas that could be improved, so let's go through them one by one. Let's start with Chen Chen.
Okay, it's a pretty good rig. I do have some suggestions. The first one is about this arc rig. If you can show it in the extreme poses, especially the shoulder area, that would be great. For example, if the arm fully raised up, that would be very good to show the deformation. And another one is, I think, the trapezius muscle area, we are losing the volume here. The deformation of the trapezius muscle here, you see, the deformation is not good. Another one is about the scapular. If you play the animation, you will see the scapular doesn't move at all. I have another one is yeah, about here. I noticed that you have the nerves there. Could you please show more detail about the nerve setup? Is the nerve setup for the muscle joint or something? If you can show more detail, that would be great. So for now, I'm not sure what is that. Yeah. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Alright, I do have some suggestion here. So for the cat, you might need to take a careful look about the anatomy, like the back leg here. Real cat don't make that. Also the back leg, this part. You see the bone, this one is really poking out. Also, for the front arm, not sure it's animation problem or a rig problem. This doesn't look right here. Also, for the deformation on the belly, you might want to take another pass to smooth it. Additionally, for the work cycle, it looks like the cat body is floating in the air with legs swimming forward and backward. If you want to show your character in animation, don't have to be a fancy animation, but it has to be logically correct. Also, see the definition here. That's definitely not correct. Another one is the hand. For the hand, you might want to have some of this rendered with texture. It's not really convenient for viewer to see the deformation result with this full wireframe wide model here. For anatomy, I'm not quite sure it is a modeling problem or a rigging problem here. I don't see very clean and clear finger bone and the knuckle structure on the hand. Looks like the finger is kind of bendy, doesn't have clean structure. and the silhouette here, especially this index finger here. Okay, that's all from my side.
All right. Thanks for Chin and Sting. Those are good feedbacks. Yeah, to me, I'll say the first thing I would ask you to do is to add your name here. And also, your title, your greeting artist, right? So you also have at least your email here at the very beginning. So this is going to be your name card, right? So once we see your reel, we first have an impression like, okay, so this is from you, right? So this is a rigging reel, right? So that's very important. After that, then I'll say for each rig, so you need some description here to say like what you actually did for this one. And if you have any interesting setup or anything special, you should also write it down here. So then as a reviewer, if we see that, then we'll pay extra attention to those stuff. Then it's about your presentation. I'll say it's really good. So you have like each rig in different angles and also in different poses. I would say is you put too many stuff in one frame. So make it super hard to focus, right? So right now let's say for this cat, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 different angles and the different poses here, and they all moving at the same time. So it's going to be hard for me to know like which one I should be focused on, right? So the same thing for your hand and for all the others. Okay, so what I would say is we can split it out. So let's say this one we only want to show the work cycle. Then we're probably going to show, let's say we can frame here to show this at the beginning. We can change the angle, then we can see like from the different angles to see like different areas deformation. And then if you want to show the face, you can do this the second. That way we know what we're looking at for each piece. And then we have the bird here. So for bird, the first thing I would say is like the most challenging part for bird rig is the wing. So it's about like how you fold and unfold the feathers. So it's going to be important for you to show your bird rig with the feather card for the wings. So basically we will need all those stuff here. That way we'll see how good or how bad like a fold or unfold going to work, right? Then about the body rig, I would say it's not that important. I will probably skip this one. And especially you have some major deformation issues. You can see the leg here is pretty rubbery. And here's the same, right? Yeah, so if you want to show the bird, I will recommend you to add the feather card so we can see how it works. Other than that, since you already have like a couple of other rigs, you have a hand, you have a actual body rig, and you have a quadruped. I don't see this is that important to include a bird rig if it's not with feathers. And then you have these nerves-driven joints. Chen Chen also mentioned that on the Ninja Turtle ones, right? So this one looks very interesting, right? So this is like a unique setup you did, not very common to see on other reels. So what I would suggest is you should spend more time on these to actually show these. I would say probably not showing in a bird rig because it's going to be hard to tell. But I would say, did you use that in this rig? Probably, right? So I want to see that here. So this one going to give me an idea what you actually did, what's your concept like. Are you using the nerves, either curves or surface, to drive joints as muscles, or you're driving those as to define the silhouette or whatever, right? So I want to see that, but I want to see that more closer, right? So because right now, all I can see is some yellow stripes. So that doesn't mean anything, right? So it's hard for me to tell what are they. And then what you can also do is you can do a compare. It's going to be like before you have the nerves-driven joints, what's the deformation looks like? And then after you have those, what's the deformation looks like? So then it's going to be like from left and right, A and B here. We can immediately see that the improvement once you apply this technique. That's going to be very helpful. All right, so that's it for our feedback on this reel. As we mentioned at the beginning, this is already a solid start, and with some refinement to the presentation, it can become even stronger. Big thanks to Laio for sharing your work with us, and thanks everyone for watching. We hope this was helpful. If you find it useful, don't forget to share and subscribe. And if you'd like us to review your reel as well, feel free to send it over anytime. See you in the next one.